Each year, millions of people suffer concussions, but we still don't know just how prevalent they are. The University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine reports that 50% of concussions go unreported or undetected. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention defines a concussion as a type of traumatic brain injury caused by a bump, blow, or jolt to the head or body. We spoke to experts to understand the science, symptoms, and causes of a concussion.
Basically, a concussion is a damage to the electric grid in the brain.
You can get a concussion either from a direct impact, like in a fall or a car accident, certainly the sports collision.
That force can be to the head or the body, but that force has been transmitted to the brain and results in some dysfunction of the brain.
Brain cells are connected by what they call axons, so it's kind of like a rope or a rubber band even, something like that. There's some stretchiness to it.
I can just stretch the slave putty and it keeps tolerating the stretch, getting thinner, but tolerates the stretch. And that's what these nerve fibers called axons can do as well. If it's slow, but if the stretch is really fast, the material breaks because it acts stiffer. And that's what we believe happens in the brain.
What we believe is that the brain undergoes some what we call biochemical changes, some metabolic changes. There's a reduction in blood flow to the brain.
And that really explains some of the common symptoms that you get from a concussion, like memory loss from the temporal lobes, blurred vision, double vision from the occipital lobes. You can get loss of smell because of it's kind of right above the nose, dizziness, and decreased balance.
Right now in 2022, it's a clinical diagnosis. So we don't have a machine we can put someone in and say, yes, you suffered a concussion or no. There's a lot of work being done on looking at things like biomarkers, where we can specifically and objectively say, yes, there was some injury or damage that's resulted in a concussion or not. In terms of recovery, a lot of it has to do with the kinds of symptoms that they experienced at the time of the concussion.
You should bit by bit come out of that fog and be able to function normally.
Most people recover within the first 10 days or so. And then there's a group of people that, a smaller group, maybe less than half, that would maybe take a month. And then there's even much less than that, 10 to 20% that might take 3 to 6 months. The biggest thing about concussions is that it is really important to try to prevent more concussions because, you know, the brain just does not, while it can heal some and swelling can go down, the brain cells don't regenerate after a certain age. I think people just need to be much more aware of the types of symptoms that can be a concussion and try and do what they can to prevent having more concussions and really kind of being on the lookout for that.